Hi, everyone. I hope you are well. Thank you for taking the time to subscribe to the newsletter, to take the opportunity to read it, or you may indeed be picking this up on one of the social channels. So the purpose of the video is very much the sharing three big whys behind why the Quality Professionals Awards have been created. Before I get to that, let me just take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for the response that you've given to, let's call it the soft launch of the awards, because the website is coming in early November. We'd done the research, we'd done the planning, we'd scratched our heads, we'd gone out and spoke to people, and even though all of those things, were giving us a resounding yes, this is the right thing to do, you never know how things are going to land until, of course, you put it out there. And partly relief and partly what we kind of knew it would be, which is just so brilliant that so many recognise so quickly why this is happening and why we wanted to bring our colleagues in quality to the forefront. So thank you for all of that. So here are the three whys about why the awards have been created. The first one and the most obvious one is we absolutely saw the opportunity to professionalise and raise the status of the people who occupy quality roles within education or further education and employability. So that's everyone from our colleagues who are IQAs, right the way through to perhaps senior leader roles, and everyone that's in between that. And depending on which bit of further education or higher education even you sit in, because of our apprenticeship provision, or you're over in employability, you all call it something slightly different. But the bottom line is the knowledge and skills and the behaviours that sit underneath that are very, very similar. And there are opportunities for us to share good practice across those different parts of the system in a way that sometimes we do a good job of, but we could definitely do more of. And the roles that we're referring to are available and take place in many sectors, so they're not limited to ours. But what we certainly noticed was, if you look at some of the international cross-sector awards, there's very rarely people from education or employability were represented in those. So we thought, okay, let's try and think about how we can give you a bit of confidence that we start to see more of you appearing in that space. But we'll focus on these ones first, and we'll get your names up there in light. So that's number one: professionalizing, celebrating, raising the status of the people who play such a crucial role in really supporting and driving a quality first strategy across further education and employability. I will say as well, actually, we have not forgotten about you compliance colleagues. We very deliberately created a category for you, so that's hot off the press, specifically for you, because we wanted to make sure that you also felt that you had that opportunity to celebrate the role that you play as well. And there is an increasing crossover between the two. So don't think you've been forgotten about because you haven't. Number two, I've already said it numerous times, what we think makes the awards distinct is we have very deliberately brought together further education and employability. And that's because, again, that discipline is transferable between the sectors. But of course, many of you work in both. So your organisations deliver both provisions. You sit under different government departments for your funding or your regulation. You sit in different countries. And we wanted to further cement that, help you to build new relationships, help you to recognise that we can share good practice across the sectors in a very meaningful and helpful way, and actually sometimes quite a creative way. There are really good things happening in further ed and higher ed, actually, because of our apprenticeship colleagues that our colleagues in employability could learn from, and equally there's some really good practice in employability that I'd love to see more of within FE and skills. So that's number two, bringing those together. And we're delighted that it didn't take very long at all, I have to say, for the Institute of Employability Professionals to recognise the importance of the emerging space in employability and put their hand up to say they would like to be one of our two headline sponsors. So we're delighted to have them on board. The other headline sponsor will be announced very soon. So there's number 2. Number 3, we have gone for a UK and I wide approach. Again, there was no reason at all to limit this to any one country, and we have ambitions, and we've already potentially got some international judges in the mix to take it beyond the UK and I in future years. We won't run before we can walk, to see how big we can make it and build an international community of practitioners. So there's the 3. Number 1, let's professionalise the occupations that are associated with the disciplines of quality assurance through to continuous improvement within further education and employability. The second one is pulling those sectors together, and the third one is making sure that we reach out to our colleagues across UK and I. The final thing, I guess the final why, the fourth one, if you like, is, why it's come from us, why we felt as Mesma that we could get the ball rolling, and then hopefully, this kind of takes on a life of its own and we disappear into the background. And we thought long and hard about this, actually, about were we the right people to do it? Did we have the footprint to do it? All kinds of stuff. And again, the feedback we got was so brilliant in helping us to reassure ourselves that we are the right people to do it. And the words that came back so clearly resonated with our values. Number 1, that we build communities, and we build a community of which everyone feels a part and feels there is a space to share and grow and develop together. The second one is that we absolutely value your contribution and what you do within your organisations. And the third one is we help build your confidence. And that was the, okay, we've got this. This is exactly why we're the right people to do it. We're not going to do it on our own. I can't wait to share with you the people who are involved in the judging. I can't wait to tell you more about the partners and so on, but that's for another day. Today was about the whys. I'm going to say it again. Thank you. My only ask of you is keep spreading the word. Let people know this is here. Get them signed up to the newsletter so they know when the website goes live. And I very much look forward to meeting and celebrating with many of you over the coming months. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.